Hey, thanks for hanging out. I'm Rachel Leanne, and you're listening to Thoughts About That. Brittany.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. We had some crazy weather-related.
Snow, ice, hail, rain.
All of the gamut. And so we had to reschedule, but we're here. I'm so glad that worked out. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself because you know you best. So you go for it.
I suck at introducing myself.
Okay.
I'm Brittany. That's what I always say. And they're like, and I only talk about two things today. I am the owner of Spike the Coffee Concept, and I am Oklahoma's only, unfortunately, MBPA certified player agent.
Okay.
Yeah. So
MVP player agent, is that how is that different from NBA player agent?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's just PA stands for Players Association. Because a lot of people mix that up, but it's like, no, we don't work for the NBA. We work for the Players Association.
Nice. Yes. Okay. All right. So cool. Because I actually had that in your intro, so I need to change that. But thank you for clarifying that. That's what's up. So the only one in the state. What's the nearest state where there's another one?
A ton. Texas, Kansas, every surrounding state, unfortunately. So Oklahoma's like my territory.
Nice.
But I will say, it's really a challenge being the only one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to mess this up for the next one.
Right.
And so I am anxiously anticipating somebody to slide in my DMs and be like, hey, I'm an agent too. So we can like meet up and become friends. Because I've been needing help. So I'm like, if there's another person, like there's definitely room for a million of us.
Right. So did you, what was your major? Like what?
So I studied sports management and marketing at Oklahoma State. So I was a double major, and then I got my MBA.
Okay.
But I always knew I wanted to work in sports because I have a heart condition, so I can never play. So it was kind of like my FU to the world. Like, you're not going to take me off of court. So
nice. I love that. I know that this area, if for sports management, it's like Kansas, right? Is that the other school? So it's like you've really got to like know that that's something that you want to do.
So I will say now, like almost every major college, D1 at least has a sports management, sports marketing, sports something degree. But when I started school, Oklahoma State was the only one. And so, well, that's not true. OCU did, but like, who can afford that? They had like an entertainment management.
Okay.
But at that time, Oklahoma State was the only one that had the sports management. So I was like, well, and I had a dog named Boomer. Like, I was a Crimson and Cream girl.
Were you?
I was, but God woke me up.
Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
Yeah. My story to OSU is a lot different. I didn't have any ties to Oklahoma. So yeah, but I love the OSU. Like I didn't know that there was an OU even when I went to OSU.
I didn't know you went to OSU.
Yeah.
What did you study?
Girl. So I finished with political science. Okay. But I started in journalism.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, and I took like one Stratcom class, and I was like, oh no, I barely speak regular English, let alone journalism English.
Why you playing? So hold on. That right there, I remember being, that's so crazy you're saying this. I remember being in my first journalism class. Hell, that was so long. I don't remember the name of it. But we're going to call it Journalism 101 today.
That sounds about right.
Okay. And I remember him saying, I remember the professor saying, we don't want to know where you're from when you're speaking.
Yeah. Okay. And I like I said, I barely speak English, let alone Oklahoma English.
But that's the thing. I actually learned how, but I am so glad that I didn't have the grades to stay in journalism because you know, I would have like changed much early on with my voice. And like, you ever see those TikToks where they like pull up to a Chick-fil-A or a Starbucks and make their order in their newscaster voice? Like, I'm glad that that's not my.
Well, but I think it goes to today's topic about code switching.
No, it fully does. It fully does, because I remember when he said that, I was fresh out of New Orleans. Like, when I was walking around the student union, the first few days there, people would just stop me because they just wanted to hear me talk.
Really?
Yes. And
So are you Creole?
No, I'm part Hispanic. My dad's from Honduras.
Okay.
And my mom's from New Orleans. I know that I'm not, I don't know much about my mom's side as far as, I'm sure there's some, because there's like the EAUX on some of the names when you go down. But like on my dad's side, we are a part of the Garufinas. Have you ever heard of them?
I have not. Okay, you know, I'm a history nerd, so now I gotta like go to Google.
Yeah, so they're the Blacks of Honduras. Okay. And so they have their own dialect. Okay. And their own like Creole version of Spanish and English.
So are you and Lonnie going to invite me over for dinner tomorrow?
Well, hold on.
I know it's Fat Tuesday. Like,
listen, we don't, but that's the thing. I've gotten so far away from my heritage.
Yeah.
All of that. Like, I cook so different.
Dang.
My parents were fishermen. Like, we went out and caught fish to eat that night.
I could never.
Redfish, trout.
I cannot touch a fish.
So you don't eat fish at all?
No, I can eat it, but I can't fish it.
Fish it. Okay. Well, I grew up that way. Shrimp, all that. And it's like, yes. And now I shop at Trader Joe's. Like, it's so weird. So
your life has completely
Completely. Brittany, when I tell you completely.
That is, I mean, I love it, but I hate that for you.
It's sad though. No, it really is sad. When I was taking care of my mom, I would like record her and just ask her questions, because this wasn't something we talked about. Lonnie always wanted to talk about how he take my black card, because there's so many movies that I've just not seen.
No, but that's NOLA is a different kind of black, because it's really not black. It's really like so many other cultures kind of just thrown into one island almost. And so it's like you're not really, so like my family, like my grandfather's family is from Ireland, but when they came to America, they ended up in New Orleans. Really? And so then it was like this Irish culture mixing with this Creole culture. And it was just, which we know Creole is French. So it was just so many different things in the midst of being black in America in the early 1900s. Right. Like, it's easy to lose your tradition because it's, with so much going on. But then also what it created, like, I absolutely love New Orleans.
Everybody says that.
I can go and act a plum fool.
Everybody says it. See, I graduated.
Also, you know what's funny? When I go to New Orleans, my name is Rachel.
Are you serious?
My name is Rachel.
Tell me about this. This is like Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, because I don't want people to know me for real, because I be acting a fool.
That's fine. I'm gonna do that whenever I have
yes.
I'm gonna put that on my bucket list.
Sometimes I'm Sheree. It kind of just depends.
Girl, you silly.
I be code switching
like a mug.
Yes, wow. It's a different travel, Brittany.
It is. I mean, but. So that's actually one of the things that helps us to appreciate and kind of chameleon everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because we've had to be a part of, or not had to be, we've gotten to be a part of different, not just systems of people. I remember when I first learned for the first time, why my daddy didn't teach me Spanish growing up. And it was because he didn't want me to hear what the hell he was talking about.
Not Not anything serious. Just because he didn't want you. You had to stay in a child's place. Sounds like.
Stay in the child's place. So wait, I'm like, really?
Yeah. So now I'm not bilingual.
Well, I am. I learned when I was 20 or 18. I went to Honduras as a kid. I learned it for a couple summers and then went home and nobody spoke it to me.
So you lost it, yeah.
So I lost it. And then when I went to OSU, I worked at the Sprint store.
What is that?
The Sprint store, girl.
Oh, maybe that changed when I was there. Okay.
That was New Orleans. So the Sprint store, I worked at the Sprint store and I was the bilingual rep. Yeah. And so when Flintco was down there building the stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
I had all the Hispanic clients.
Okay.
I was La Morena.
Okay. I love it.
I was La Morena. So that was another like code switch that I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if somebody walked in here right now and it was like Dominican, whatever, I could like hop in that so quick.
Okay.
I could hop in it so quick.
So I started taking French, and actually when I graduated high school, I graduated my associates in French. And my problem is I speak my own language, right? Okay. Like my accent, it depends on the day. Yeah. And stuff just comes out like different kind of ways. Yeah. And so it was like, I could never get the accent. So I know I always sound so ghetto when I always, and not like American ghetto, just ghetto when I would try to speak French because it just wasn't. But my thought process was if I learn how to speak French, since it's so close to Spanish, then it'll be easy for me to pick up on Spanish. But now I can literally say bonjour and that's it. I can still count. Like I think I can count to 10, but I can't. I didn't retain it. Yeah. I should have kept it though.
Hey, Duolingo, and I think the other one is Babbel. Hey, if y'all want to hit me up, I can promote that. But no, for real, those apps do help. But the best way to me will always hands down be immersion. Yeah, that's the quickest way to learn. When I have kids,
I want them to go to like a school like that. I actually just saw a TikTok the other day. This guy was like, I thought my kid was bad, but she just doesn't know English. So he was like, now I got to learn Spanish to be able to communicate with my kid. And I was like, dang, that's interesting.
I have a friend that got... wait, so y'all, today we're talking about code switching.
Yes.
If we didn't make that clear, we're talking about code switching. And I mean, all of this, what we're talking about kind of ties into it. But I actually know people that have gotten married not knowing the same language.
Oh.
Like they have like...
So for a green card?
No, they're like still today together. Like
that's interesting.
Like love, yeah.
Can you love someone if you can't talk to them?
I don't know, but like, I mean, they know bits. They knew, little bits and pieces or whatever. I mean, because they had to get around in the world to work and stuff like that. But it wasn't like
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so it depends on the day.
Okay.
Did you watch You People?
I did.
Okay. What did you think? I have thoughts.
I hated it.
What are your thoughts about it?
I hated it.
You hate it?
I don't think I like Will Packer films though.
Okay.
And because I think I wasn't watching it this is the part that I hate that I ever worked for Thunder, because live entertainment, like when you're on the management side of it, it really messes with your head.
Why?
Because I think now so much I am trying to create the perfect picture. So like now still, even though I'm so many years removed from those days, like I still want it to be perfect. So then when I look at the film and I looked at how they cut the camera sometimes or how like the angles and just the way they had them speak, like to me, Lauren London is a good actress, but she sucked in that movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, she came out and said like she almost didn't take the role because she thought it would be unbelievable. Here it is. I mean,
did you know she's Jewish in real life?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she's a Jew.
Huh. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Well, I mean, I was saying how I wanted to like quit work and like just do podcasting. And he was like, my partner was like, you're not Jewish. Like you don't have money like that to just be quitting.
Yeah, we ain't quitting no jobs.
Even though Beyonce said, you know what I'm saying? She said, she was like, you're not gonna break my soul, but jobs be breaking people's soul. But no, that would be a lot of fun. But so you thought it was crap. And I think I'm glad they didn't like sexualize Lauren.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think she's right. I don't know.
That could be it. Yeah. That could be it.
I don't want to say the wrong thing because I love Lauren London.
Lauren, we love you. Yeah. And but I will say, I like how she got the bag.
Oh yeah, get your money, sis.
She was like, well, we putting Baby Daddy getting his song on the soundtrack. Yep. Wheezy sound on the soundtrack. You know, we gonna highlight the marathon. Everybody gonna be good. And so I love that. But I mean, I thought it did what it did for who it was for.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. It wasn't and this is probably gonna be my downfall in life, and probably why I'm still single, because I am just so obsessed with the idea of Black love.
Okay. So that's actually one of my questions.
I know. I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready. But I think for me, so to your question, that's probably gonna come up.
Yeah.
I cannot date outside of my race.
Okay.
And I don't think it's anything like, I actually just last night when me and my friend were like looking at like our high school classmates, and we were like, all of the white people are like married and have families, and none of the Black people are. So like, what happened there? Yeah. And it sucks because it's like, I don't know, I probably could have a whole family by now if I dated outside my race. But I don't know, it's just something about a Black man that I just want in my life.
and that is fine. You know, at OSU, there was this, dudes wanted white girls. Yeah. Like that was kind of how it was at these, Big 12 schools. And I feel like it could have been easier to just for Black women, and some did.
Yeah.
Some did. I mean, kudos to them. But so you're saying
I'm gonna give myself like 2 more years. Now I'm gonna have to jump the fence. Because like, come on now.
Yeah. But I feel like, so wait, why do you said the gap. What do you think the gap is?
I mean, so many things, economics, society, education, ambition, and honestly, just the way we're presented in
Black women.
Yeah. I mean, so just last Friday, Spike had an event. It was a discussion about Black love. And this Black man said in there, it took everything in me not to be the bartender and to join the conversation. But he was just like, well, he's an engineer. He's like, I don't want to date a successful woman because I can't provide anything for her. And I'm like, are you sorry, like, don't make me come choke you out. So I don't know. And I wanted to ask so bad, like, is that from experience or is that because society tells you so? Because like for me,
because it could be.
Yeah, you may not have ever actually had that experience, but then we see these power couples and we're like, we want to embody that, but God forbid you get a powerful Black woman. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that that's so tunnel vision. Like, yeah.
Because when I look at myself, I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I cannot wait to find that person where I'm like submissive to. And I don't even mean submissive and like bowing down, but like that person that just makes me want to be vulnerable and makes me comfortable enough that I can share my world with them. But until then, it's just like, am I just supposed to work a boring, stressed out 9 to 5 and not live out my hopes and my dreams?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know what? I mean, that vulnerable part, though, I think that's part of what's missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
From Black men. I know Jaden Smith, he had posted this video of him crying. Did you see it?
So I saw the article and I was like, not today.
Okay. So we won't go there today. But, and we've talked about this before, like how, they were probably told don't cry and they ain't cry ever since, So you're saying that if the missing piece
it's crazy. I was raised like that too, though. Actually, I'm going to be vulnerable. I spent the whole weekend crying.
Well,
the whole weekend.
This is the podcast of what people would consider oversharing, and we are okay with it. It is welcome here. This is a safe space.
Telling y'all my business.
No, it's a safe space. But I think that is something that we just kind of don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
Everything on social media is
fake.
It's fake.
I mean, right now, if you look at my story, it's a picture of me and I look so happy. And I'm like, I had to post that because I'm sad right now and I need to see me happy. But I think too, excuse me, I think too, you know, it's just for me, like I was raised, so it was my grandparents and then they had boys. And so then for me, it was like they almost didn't know how to raise a girl. So I had to be tough. I had to be this strong Black woman. But I feel like in the back of my mind, it's always been like, I don't care about this for real. Like, I don't want to do this. And then when I date guys, they're always like, because I'm like a super lover girl. And I'm like, do you want me to cook you dinner? Like, you want me to come do your laundry? Like, I don't know. I'm a super lover girl. And so for me, it's like, I cannot wait to like take care of my man. But you know,
let me cater to you.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. And I mean, I feel like they're out there. We just kind of live in the wrong place for it.
Oh, 100,000%.
I mean, if we look at the numbers, if America has 13% Black, and we come down to Oklahoma, as many Black historically, you know, towns that we have, if you living in the metro,
we all fled.
It's just...
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I will say that there are some quality men here.
You think so?
I mean, when I look at my dating life, I'm like, yep, this is a good slate. Now, may the best one win. But this is good. This is
you think it's the scene has gotten better?
Oh, absolutely. Like all of them are... I'm not about to be telling. But they're good men.
Okay, so I actually saw I'm not going to mention her name, but I saw a local business owner when I was actually going on my way to Kylie's. Okay. And I saw them walking on Western and it was like cold and they was all like snuggled up and I was like, yes, you go. But you know, I've been married a long time. So those days are a long time ago. No. And as soon as we get a babysitter,
unfortunately, I am not.
And I'm not either. I'm not.
I do have a little cousin who likes to watch kids, and she lives in Edmond. I don't know if y'all do, but
we do. We need somebody other than my mother-in-law. But anyways, it's I mean, it's hard, and it's something that I've like seen on some of the Instagrams that I follow about how like there's literally no time outside of work, and this like it takes a village, and if you don't have that, it's just fucking hard. But so this weekend was sad. And
was everybody sad this weekend?
Hold on. So I was sad, but that's why I went to Kylie's. I was like, I finished the basketball game and I was like, it was his last basketball game. And I was like, if I go home, I'm going to be depressed. I was like, I need to go connect with somebody.
Ooh, you want to know what I just journaled about yesterday?
Tell me.
Oh, my God. I'm telling y'all my business. No. So in my journal, I was like, it's so crazy because I'm so lonely at home and I'm sick of being at home alone. But I was like, but I'm not even finding enjoyment like out in public spaces anymore because I'm still alone. And I was like, I have to find like some type of something that like brings me joy. And two, like being an entrepreneur, I feel like, which Spiked is almost to its 18th month, but I got so consumed in that I just forgot about Brittany. And so like, I'm definitely in like a rediscovery phase. Yes. Cause I was like, it's almost to the point where I'm neglecting my dogs. Cause I stay out all day cause I don't want to be at home. When I do want to be home, I don't want to be bothered with them. Yep. But it's just like, what is the happy medium? And so my therapist was like, well, do you journal? And I was like, no, that's dumb. And here we are. And I felt like after I like said it, like got it off of my chest, I felt great. Like I went home and was like, I'm going to like clean it up. Like I'm not just going to move clothes from one room to the next today. So,
I think it's just life has changed so much for everyone. And we've really kind of woke up to the fact that, oh shit, like my life is work. And like, you know.
And I don't want it to be.
And it shouldn't be. Our work shouldn't be our social life and our, you know, like our hobbies and like there's got to be some separation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think bringing it back to the topic, that is in itself what code switching is. Because I think, you know, the Brittany that I have to be as Spike is super bubbly, super happy, just super fun. And then Agent Brittany is like a bitch. Like, I'm like my way or the highway. Like, I'm a boss. Like, it's so crazy how I switch, like mentally. Like, sometimes I laugh at myself and I'm like, where'd that come from? Like, I'm really a boss. Right. And then it's like me. And I don't know who I am anymore.
Do you feel like each of those, like, not facades, but those sides of you have different feelings?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Because I think Spike Brittany is super positive, super happy, joyous. Every day is a good day, always smiling. Agent Brittany, she's that too, but then it's a boss, super confident and just knows that I am basically Beyonce. Right. But then there's me and I'm like, wait, girl, look at your thighs. Like, you got a new stretch mark or you got a new cellulite. Like, it's just like so insecure. And I don't even mean insecure in a negative way, but just like a regular person.
Right. A basic.
Yeah, real basic. I'm probably like below basic in real life.
I if you're below basic, then I'm like simplistic. Would that be how basic how minimal can basic get?
Like, literally, because again, going back to how I was raised, like, I am more of a sweats and Jordans kind of girl. Like, my hair don't be done for real.
My edges don't be laid.
Like, I'm just regular. And so then when I go into these different arenas, it's like I have to become a different person because the expectation.
That's exhausting.
It's so exhausting, which is why I'm in that rediscovery phase now.
Yeah. So how are you? How are you doing the rediscovery? I'm doing rediscovering as well because, you know, finishing caregiving and things like that. I'm like, what do I like to do for fun? What brings me joy? And it's not that same Rachel from OSU, you know, going out. It's not the one that was living in an apartment at 22, going out and having people sleep over. So what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it?
I don't even know. I wish I knew. So Brittany likes Marvel. So like, yeah, I was supposed to go to the movies this weekend, but of course I was crying. So I stayed in the house.
You can cry at the movies.
I didn't.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
But it's just finding a happy medium, and therapy helps. I love my therapist. So my original therapist is on maternity leave, and like, you know, sure. I'm the baby. So then I switched to actually one of my friends. I would call her a mentor. She's all the things here in Oklahoma City, and like, it's been great. Like, I've only been with her one session so far, and she challenged me, and I was like, this is what I need. Yeah. And she's like, so see you back in 2 weeks. I was like, wait, give me like a month. Like, give me some time. Like, she's like, no. And she's like, no pressure. And I'm like,
what you need time for?
Because she told me I needed to have like some real conversations and define some boundaries in my life. And that's the reason why I was crying this weekend, because I knew that, you know, when I create this boundary, that means that these people can't be in my life anymore. So it's kind of like mourning them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, you know, that's totally normal. I think, Brittany, though, like, we're just so, one of my favorite creators, Hey Tony TV, do you follow him? Okay. He said everybody was talking bad about like SZA's new album or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
He was like, he loved it. He was like, y'all just want to be emotionless so bad. Like, y'all don't want to have no feelings.
So that's why I didn't like it. I didn't like Summer Walker's new album either, because I think listen, you know, at the beginning of COVID, I was in the streets. Like,
really?
It was fun. I was like, look, because at that time I hadn't told people I was an agent yet. Like, I hadn't announced it yet. So I was like, I'm going to have fun. Because as soon as I put this title on me, and I'm the first in Oklahoma, I'm the only Black woman agent in Oklahoma, like, the attention's going to be on me. So I had to have fun and cut up. And I did. It probably a little bit too much. And so then once I started telling people who I was and what I did, and then I got this great idea to open Spike. And so then I had to kind of change. So again, back to the code switch, I had to code switch back into, you know, a professional person. And even one of my mentors recently was like, hey, you've been cursing a lot on your social media. I'm like, ugh. But I'm like, but my social media is for Brittany. It's not for Spike. It's not for Agent Brittany. Like, it's for me.
Yes.
And I curse.
You can say what you want to say.
Now, I did tone it down a little bit because he made a good point. Because he was like, you know, you got people looking up to you. And so I was like, I'll just make a private.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. Of course.
Well, I didn't.
But your life kind of revolves around a football schedule.
I can't talk about that, you know.
The life of a wife of an agent.
Girl. So, like...
I can't wait till I have my partner so I can be like, can you just call Rachel and see how she deals with it?
I don't. I lay down. I lay down, but, you know, I don't want to mess up her name because I was looking for it. Is it Justine?
Who?
She did ASL for Rihanna's concert.
Oh, I don't know her name, but yeah, she's dope.
Dope.
She's amazing.
I wish I had my phone, but we were recording on it. I have to give her like props, but she was on Gayle King.
Okay.
Doing an interview, and when Justina Miles, she did not code switch. She was on Gayle King's stage saying, "You feel me?"
Yeah. And that's the most important part that I want to make about code switching, because for me, I feel like in the Black community, when we talk code switching, that usually means from being yourself versus being a coon. But like, there's so many others. So like for me, when I look at myself in the professional arena, I do code switch, but for me, it's more so changing my vocabulary. But I'm not going to stop being Brittany. I talk loud. I make jokes. I'm a bit of an asshole half the time. Like, I probably say stuff I shouldn't say. Like, I probably should keep it in my thought bubble, as my aunt tells me. But I'm not going to stop being me for the sake of you. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think that's why, like, when I worked for Thunder, or anytime I'm around athletes or famous people, I don't give a damn. Do you know who I am? Like, it switches. My code switch is switching to where it's like, to me, you're just a person. I'm not going to change who I am to make you happy, because that doesn't make me happy. Right. And I'm naturally like a fun, bubbly person. And so it's like, I'm not going to tone that down. I don't care who you are.
Right.
And I think because of that, that's what's gotten me so far in life. Like, I don't want to sugarcoat it.
So code switching has been like the way that you've done it, but you still infuse yourself.
Yeah.
And
it's probably multiple personality disorder.
But how is it any different?
Yeah, like it depends on what role I'm in to, you know, which Brittany you get. But at the end of the day, it's still the same Brittany. Right. It's just one is a little bit more authoritative.
Right. More out there front stage.
Yeah. And then the other is just, you know, wants to make everybody happy. Mm-hmm. So.
What makes Brittany happy?
You know, again, I don't know. That's every discovery. Okay. I guess journaling now. But
well, I think I don't like to journal, but I do voice memo sometimes. But rediscovery is saying yes.
It is to things that I would not normally do. Yeah. So like for me, typically, because I'm so busy, like on Sundays, my phone is on do not disturb, like, because I really don't want anybody to call me. Right. But yesterday I didn't. I left it off. Okay. I treated myself to dinner. Like it was different. I was happy, yeah. And after I finished eating, I like journaled a little bit, and I was just like, okay, like now I can go home and be happy. And so I guess it's the little things.
It is the little things, but you know what? Do you think it's happy, or like, is that the baseline? I feel like the baseline should be a little lower. Like I was talking to a friend about the word content.
I am not a content person.
Okay.
Yeah, I set unrealistic expectations and achieve them all the time. Okay.
But not in like performance, just in like
I am very quantitative. Okay. Like it has to be measurable. Yeah, I wish I was one of those people who could just be happy with sitting on the couch at home, but I'm like, but I could also be working on something. Like I can't sit still.
So we talked about this in episode 1 actually, with my friend Lola, but about boredom. And how, this woman had retired and like hated it and went back to work.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's because we're trying to fill our time with something.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because if I'm not, then I probably got to face the reality that I'm lonely.
But I also think it's coping, though.
Yeah.
To deal with boredom by doing something.
Yeah. I don't know. But I think, too, it goes back to my childhood. So as a kid, like, my mom was a very active parent. So me and my sister were always doing something. And so it's like, to me, and don't get me wrong, like, I love a good snow day because that forces me to sit down somewhere. And sometimes I need it. You did? Yes. I love them. But sometimes that's the only way to get me to stop. Because I just can't sit still. I mean, because like even now, like, you know, when I first opened Swipe, I went into it saying like, this is going to be a franchise. I'm going to own 3 locations. Like, I'm going to have it in this city, that city, everywhere. But I never really stopped to think about the day to day. And so then when Spike got open, it was just like, oh,
this is a everyday, all day thing.
And so then I had to take that seat and sit down and focus on this location and how this location can financially sustain itself before I could start branching out. Now that I've kind of figured it out a little bit, now I'm like, all right, so next location. All right, so location after that.
Yeah, I saw you put that on your stories. What were you thinking?
I can't tell you. Okay. Nope.
All right, you can't share, but when she does share,
I will definitely let the world know. She's going to
let us know. Yeah. So you know, that then you're going to be traveling, Brittany.
Yeah. Well, and even that's what I was going to say. With Spike, I had to kind of let Agent Brittany go. I had to completely sit down and focus on that. And I didn't think it was going to take that much of my time away. And it sucks because, like, being a sports agent is my passion. Like, it truly makes me happy. And so to tell my guys, like, I'm so sorry, but I can't work with you anymore. Yeah. And even now, like, they still send me their contracts and stuff. And one of them recently tore his ACL. So I'm like, well, come on. Like, let me get you right. Let me send you to this doctor. And so it's like, you know, it's still only so much away I can be, but I miss it because that's my passion. Like, before Spikes, like, sports was really my happy place. And so I think that's too the challenge in rediscovery, because it's like, well, I know what makes me happy. Basketball, football, softball. Like, I like all the sports, and now I can't do any of them. So,
see, and I was looking at my son's coach, and I was like, what would make you want to volunteer with kids?
I would never. I cannot be a coach ever. I don't have the patience because I'm gonna have to cuss your kid out, and you might not like that.
So you can't work with kids?
No.
Okay, so because do you feel like your happy place
is adults?
Well, yeah, sure, mine too. But what does it have to be tied to money?
Oh, no. So actually, I didn't charge most of my guys' contracts. Some of them I did take money because I'm like, you can afford to. But also, too, with FIBA, which is the International Basketball League, the team plays you. It doesn't come out of your players' money. So, of course, I'll take that money. Right. But, like, most agents have a retainer fee. I have a retainer fee, but do I ever charge it? No.
Why?
Because I said... Because it really makes me happy. Like, it's not about the money for me. And because, you know, in addition to Spike, I do have a job. So it's like my bills are paid. I'm not really, I'm not worried about it.
Get your bag, sis. Like,
so when Agent Brittany comes back, so I did not, technically for a basketball season, it's recruiting season right now. And so, like, I should be going to March Madness next month, but I'm not. But starting probably, I think I'm gonna go take my interns to the draft this summer in New York. And then I think by July, I'll be ready to go. So by Summer League, I'll be ready to jump into it again and get that ball rolling as far as my recruiting and stuff goes. But I just, you know, I had to take that time away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
it happens. It happens, unfortunately, but I'm glad to hear that what makes you happy isn't tied to money, because that's something I struggle with. Like,
I mean, obviously everybody wants to make money, but I think too, because if I didn't have my job, if I didn't have Spike, you know, then I might be like, all right, I got to start charging. Right. But I think, you know, because
capitalism is so ingrained. Yeah. So
yeah,
where do you feel like you don't need the code switch?
I don't feel like I'm code switching right now. I definitely don't have to code switch like with my family.
Good.
with my friends either, though. I can be super vulnerable. Actually, this weekend when I was crying, I actually let one of my friends know, and she was just like super taking care of me because she's like, this is not Brittany. Like, Brittany does not let us know when she's not okay. And so, like, she was checking in because I had my location turned up. She's like, I just need to know where you're at. And I'm like, relax. You think I'm gonna hurt myself or something? And she's like, no, I just care. And I'm like, oh. But I think too, it's finding those true friendships so that, you know, they can be with you through the ugly, you know, and the beautiful. And even like, so my friend that I let know, Sheree, she actually was there when I decided I was going to create Spike. We got drunk during COVID and we got drunk and I was like, oh shit, her and my friend Nira and so like I love my friends so much because I tell them they have saw the worst of me and they still love me and encourage me, and so
so those are your solids. So you don't feel like you have to code switch with your solids or with your family. Anybody else? And of course the thoughts about that podcast, you do not have to code switch, but anywhere else that make you feel safe that you don't. It's not even code switching does not activate.
It's probably a lot more places, but since you put me on the spot, I can't think. I think I have to code switch like with my players. Okay. I give it to them straight. I'm actually mean to them sometimes. I'm like, you're being dumb. Like, that is not a smart decision. One of my players was going through a divorce, and I'm like, well, sounds like you should have never married that girl to begin with. Like, and I'm like, can you not see that this is a lot? Like, so, like, because with my guys, like, I don't just sign anybody. Like, I want to meet your family. I want to know that, you know, we're compatible, because it's more so like a brother-sister relationship. Like, one of my players, I remember one time I was like, all right, I have to go. Like, you're making me late to a date. And he's like, hold on, what's this man's name? What's his tag number? And I'm like, business. Like, but it's just, I don't know. And I try to find safe spaces everywhere, like, because you need it. And even like with one of my mentors, Greg is amazing. And, you know, now even like during my dating life, I've kind of let him in. And so he's been coaching me through that. So I have a huge village.
You have a good support system.
I think about it. Mine is pretty large.
You don't feel like you knew that before you
Probably
just said it? Hey, that's huge, man. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. Well, and two, because not being from Oklahoma City, so before I announced that I was an agent, nobody really knew me here. I mean, because I really lived like behind the scenes. That's part of the reason why I want to be an agent, because you don't have to be in the front of everything, but you're still in the mix. And so that's the fun of it. But like,
but you said you like to be the center of attention. So is there a part of Brittany that does? Is there a side of Brittany that does?
So when I was a few years ago, this guy, I can't even think his name. I see his face though. He was like, Brittany, I'm going to tell you how I would describe you, but I don't want you to take this the wrong way. And I was like, he's like, you are a very flamboyant person. And so I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And so a lot of times I don't want to be the center of attention. It just happens that way.
Okay.
So it's because I'm cute. I got pretty privilege. I won't lie.
But you're an extrovert.
No, I'm not.
No.
Brittany is an introvert. What? Agent Brittany and Spiked Brittany are very extroverted. But then when I go home, I'm like, I don't want to hear anything because I've been talking so much. Like, I don't want.
Well, extroverts it doesn't mean that you don't want quiet time or downtime or.
No, but I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to people for real.
Wow. Okay. I would have never guessed.
Yes. It's funny too, because when customers are in Spiked and I walked in, I won't speak. I was like, hey, but I won't like go over and talk to them. And they're like, then they'll come to me and I'm like, well, I don't know if I should talk to you because I don't be trying to talk for real.
Right.
And then it's like, I don't want to be rude. So I got to talk to them. But yeah, no, I'm very quiet.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like with my mom, I have a little sister, but on my dad's side, I was the only child. I was the only grandchild for a long time. So I was used to being alone and just figuring life out. And so it was just like, now I got to talk to people like all day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. When I went to like the Oklahoma Women in Tech meeting at the Renaissance, it was like their first event of the year. I talked to 3 people and I went home and slept till 3:00 in the morning.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's a lot.
And I mean too, it's like, you know, because a lot of times people are always like, how's Spiked or how's the sports world? And I'm like,
You just want to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing like so. It kind of depends on Yeah. So,
well, I feel like what I see about you. Obviously, you're doing great.
thank you.
It's okay to be sad about whatever you're sad about. I feel like what I'm learning that grief is going to be a part of your life.
Yeah.
Whether it's loss of friendships, whether it's loss, we both have geriatric animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't even, we could do a separate one on that because
that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. But it's like, all those places have it takes energy and so it requires energy and it requires, certain characteristics to come out. And that's exhausting.
It totally is.
So having that space, man, is so
I guess
important.
This is like a journaling sponsorship I'm about to do, but definitely write it down. Because I literally, I've never felt that good. Because a lot of times I won't say what's on my mind. Like, I won't express myself. And it's crazy because I'll tell you what's on my mind, but I won't for real. Especially like in my dating life or anything, like I will go with the flow. And so my therapist's challenge to me was like, create those boundaries. Like, and the word she used was parameter. Mm-hmm. And so, and so I was like, that is actually what I needed in my life. And so then this weekend, I was like, all right, I gotta, and unfortunately that means some people gotta go. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
Well, you deserve a coffee that is spiked.
Listen.
I still have not had one of your spiked coffees.
I should have brought you one. I didn't think about it because I was at Spike.
What? I need some of this in my life. Besides my little Baileys at home.
Yeah, we can get you better than.
Okay, I want a better one. But if you had to tell someone about code switching, let's say somebody DM'd you about being an intern.
Yeah.
And y'all are meeting. And she asked you about code switching. And she's like, she just realized that what would you tell?
So one, all of my interns that I either current or previous are very silly. Okay. And my interviews are very relaxed because I'm like, I cut the BS. This is not your strengths, your weaknesses. I think that's the dumbest question ever. But if you can show me who you are, basically, if you don't code switch, I'm probably gonna hire you. And because when I think of my original slate of interns, I had Joey, I had Jeremy, Matthew, Torrin, Celebrity. Oh, if I forget anyone, yikes! I hope they don't see this. I think I got everybody, but Joey is a character, and he's not my favorite. I'm not gonna say he's my favorite, but Joey was because he was his true self, it was able to get it out of everybody else. And so now, well, not so much now because we're about 2 years since, we all worked together. But we used to keep I loved my group chat with them because we were always being there just talking about everything other than sports, in addition to sports, I should say. And so they were just great, silly people. I have so many videos of us drunk from summer league. We're supposed to be working. And meanwhile, I'm like, so it's for me, I don't want, and it's crazy because I don't really get women interns. Okay. I want them, but I feel like the expectation I have on myself, I put it on them and they never meet that expectation. Unfortunately, I have one right now, Helen Marie. She just finished law school and so she's currently studying for the bar. So she's kind of taking a seat back, but she's dope. And she has I'm really grooming her to be me because I'm like, take this test so you can be an agent too. But she's amazing. And I definitely think she has it in her to be all the things, but I don't know. Yeah. I just want you to be yourself.
Be yourself. Be yourself. I be yourself in each one of the rooms you enter.
Yeah. Because I have to be able to trust you. Because sometimes I might say this is $10,000. Can you take it to da-da-da-da? Mm-hmm. Or, here's the Agent B credit card. I need you to go get da-da-da-da. Or I need you to figure out. A couple of years ago, we had a guy in was he in Turkey? Am I lying? I can't remember what country he was in. I suck. And he was like, yo, I need a coat. And I'm like, all right, we'll mail you one, but you got to figure out how we gonna mail it to you. And they didn't really have like a mailing system. Yeah. Actually, no, he wasn't in Turkey. He was in Armenia. But I was like, maybe we can mail it to Turkey and you could just get on a train or something and go get it. But then it was like, well, how do we address it? It was a thing. But I got to be able to trust you more than anything. So I don't care, be yourself. So I can know if we vibing or not. And then let's get to work.
When did you first notice that you were code switching? Do you feel like there was a moment?
Oh, yeah. So going into it, so that inaugural set of interns, they came on the summer of 2020. Am I lying? One of the summers, I don't know. But Spiked was under construction. And so they were like, great. Because they were like, here's the thing. How are you going to brand you? And how are you going to brand Spiked? So like, if you look at Spike's original social media post, you never saw me. Because I didn't want those two I almost didn't want people to know I owned it because I wanted to be Agent Brittany and only Agent Brittany. I just wanted this to be my business that I eventually had my guys franchise. And so, like, we set up a dress code. So, like, Agent Brittany wears, like, pink or blue or bright colors, whereas Spike Brittany wears black, white, gray, yellow. And so we created those brands and took it down even to the nitty-gritty of how I do my hair. So, like, today, it's kind of to the side because that's Spike Brittany, but Agent Brittany is the middle part. Like, my interns created the brands, like, and even now if I post something, they're like, so what is this? So like the other day I was on the news and I had on a Spike shirt, but I put on an orange blazer and they're like, what? And I was like, but that's like, it was black and white. Or like on Valentine's Day, I went to a basketball game and they were just like, why do you look like this? I'm like, I'm not working, y'all. I'm just coming to the game to attend the game, like at like a little date. Like I'm just trying to enjoy some basketball. And so yeah, they held me accountable to that.
Okay. So you did have that moment where you were just like,
yeah.
I need to separate this person.
I probably could even find like the old charts to even describe like Agent Brittany versus Spike Brittany. And a lot of times people are like, why are you talking about yourself in the third person? But I'm like, it's really different brands. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, I do notice you do that.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about, like, when I say Agent B, I'm really talking about Agent B because she is a whole nother person. And you don't get to see Agent B in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not ready for Agent B, okay? Now, like, if you see me in New York...
Except for pre-COVID.
Listen.
Right after COVID.
That 2020 COVID was different. But also, too, like, I was, like, really feeling myself because I was like, I just passed this test. Like, I'm the shit. Like, so I was in them streets. It was crazy. but yeah, it is. It's different. It's different. And so, yes, I knew I code switched. But, like, when I think about, like, Thunder Brittany, like, I never really code switched. Because it's like either a player. Actually, that's why me and Westbrook are cool. Because it's like I always talk a little shit. Like that's just what I do. And so he respected me for that. I'm like, I don't care if your name is Westbrook, your name is whatever. Like my name's Spencer. Like so yeah. I don't think I didn't do it until I started creating different brands.
Different brands. Yeah. You have to. You almost have to code switch. I mean. Shout out to Tabitha Brown and her saying she's not going to. I think it's a privilege because not everybody's there to where they can say, oh, I'm going to turn down this opportunity because I have to change my voice or who I am.
But I will say that I don't change my voice. Like I am Brittany through and through. Mm-hmm. It's just the presentation of Brittany. Mm-hmm. So.
See, I feel like my voice changes.
You do?
I do. Yeah, I do. And yeah, that's a whole nother, but I do feel like my code switching my voice. Like when I do like teaching for.
I'm about to start teaching a class. And I was like, I'm going to go in there very unprofessional. What's up, y'all?
Well, but see, I do that. I do mentoring and consulting. I do these tech trainings.
Yeah.
And it's like people in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to have to switch, though, because you have to be them almost. So, yeah, I get that. I guess it just depends on you. I just think the biggest takeaway I could get when I think about code switching is it's not negative. Now, it can be. Like, I know somebody who's very much a coon, and I keep him exactly where he needs to be because I know he switches his behavior. And he messed up. Yeah, he messed up and he told me his formula. And so now I know how to win every time. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing. I think, you have to do.
Well, it's sad that we have to do it. Because, I mean, there were times where I will go, if I had a job interview, I will go get like a $200 sew-in.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, if I do that, I'm going to do it for me. But also, I'm not paying more than
I did it for me, but it was also just a natural thing. Like, I got to get my hair done. It has to be this way because I want to be presented in this way.
For my corporate job, I went in there with a whole fro. And I can even show it to you. I sat down my resume, and then I sat down a plan. And I had my 3 months, my 6 months, my 9 months, and then my year goals. And I was like, you hire me, this is what you go get. Now, that was a little bit Agent Brittany. Like, I kind of like told myself, like, you want this job. Like, you don't want to fumble that bag. So I was like, I'm going to tell them what they can get from me. But that's me, though. Like, I am very authoritative, and I will take control of a situation if I feel like it's not going the right way. Yeah. So I'm not going to change that.
Yeah.
Until I meet a man to make me sit down somewhere.
Girl.
Then I might change it.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Like, we have our kinks. We have our things that we... Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I can't wait for the day I can just go home and like not have to be in control. That's what I really want.
So you want somebody to take control?
Oh, 100%. Tell me what to do. Tell me which cliff to jump off of. I'm
gonna do this.
No, I don't want that for real. But I do want a partner. Like, I want somebody where I can be weak with.
Right.
Because some days like this weekend was a very weak week, and it sucks because again, all words we sometimes put that negative connotation on it. But like, I was very weak this weekend, and I want somebody who can be with me and still value me and my weakness.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel like people value you only because of what you do?
Yeah, a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Like literally, when I have people like reaching out to me, I'm like, look, just give it to me straight. What do you want? What do you need? What's your ask? Let's just do it. Like, because you don't have to
cut the shit with me.
Yeah, like you don't have to code switch. Just tell me what you want. Like one of my interns just the other day was afraid to ask me, or kind of scared to ask me to write him a letter of recommendation. And he sent this long paragraph. I'm like, just what do you need? Like, stop acting like that. Just tell me when to do it. And so I actually told him I was going to do it today.
What's your favorite switch that you do? Do you have one?
Agent Brittany.
Okay. I would have guessed that.
Yes, I love it. I don't know what it is, but it's like that confidence that I get. And I'm like, do you know who I am? Yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun. And actually, I've never really had a partner. That's not the truth. One guy that I was dating, I did like kind of let him see me in Agent Brittany, but I really don't let them see me because sometimes it can be too much.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, when I find that person where I can be that person, I'm a no.
Well, I hope he comes soon, girl.
Right? Lord, are you listening?
Well, this is fun. We could do a whole nother one on like geriatric animals. No, it's a need.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. But then also, like, I would love to have you back to talk about love.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know what that is.
Well, if not, that's okay.
Until we come back, we can talk about it. Okay. Hopefully by then I'll have somebody.
Well, I just said that because you like Black love, but it doesn't have to be about that. It could be about like loving friendships.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you had said about the friend that like was really supportive of that. I feel like we need that because we can't get all of our needs met from one person. Yeah. Not even a partner. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So anyways, well, thank you for being here, Brittany.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I'm so glad you had fun.
This was some therapy I didn't have to pay for.
Thanks for hanging out. Thoughts About That was brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.